What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Look, man, I'm a firm believer that you should let your work speak louder than your voice, than your mouth. A lot of people, even those who do a lot of good work, um, they have something in them that makes them want to let everybody know what it is they've done and what it is that they're doing, and not really realizing that if you're doing good work, if you're doing impactful work, people gonna see it. Now, you might not be seen on the scale that you feel you should be seen. You may not be seen on the scale on the level that you want to be seen, but to the people that your work impacted, trust me, they understand. They give you your props. They are very appreciative of what you do, and you should be good with that. Now, anything that you wanna, any way that you wanna grow it and expand your exposure and for the sake of reaching more people, then you got to figure out the way to do that. But if you try to expand your reach and your exposure for the sake of having everybody being on some look at me um, type stuff, then you really missing the point of why your work is should be done in the first place. Um, Especially people who do community work, especially people who are out um, serving the community, doing things for the community. Um, the last thing you should do is be out here trying to be seen all the time. Outside of just to bring attention to an organization, to bring attention to a cause, that's kind of a different lane. There's still a fine line that you got to walk to not appear that you doing it for the glory. But man, when you grinding, sooner or later the grind exposes itself. The grind exposes itself, and people start to take notice. They see it everywhere they look up. They see some uh, seeds of your work. They see some fruits of the seeds that you planted. Rather, that's what I should have said. And the more you push, then your work becomes the norm. It becomes a familiar sight to people. And even when you reach that point, then it comes back around to you may feel unappreciated because now the familiarity has, in a sense, numbed people to how you get down. And one of the analogies I like to give, it's like if a guy scores 30 points a night, he get every time he come out, he get 30. Uh, when you watch the highlights tomorrow night and you see that he hit 32 points, you're like, okay, that's what he do. And you may not even appreciate how actually difficult it is to average 30. So some of us are out here in this world and walking in what we do and walking our purpose and executing our gift to the fullest. We averaging 30. We averaging 30 with ease, and people are kind of taking it for granted because they used to seeing your greatness. They used to seeing it. So see, that happens in households, man. If you got a family that has 3 children, 4 children, 3, 4 children, even 2, and you got one child that's a standout. Everything he or she does, they excel at it. They're always the best in this, always the best in that. And the other child may not. He's not all that smart, all that great in sports, So um, when the child who excels all the time, they do things early on, oh man, little Johnny is just amazing. But then when the other child finally does something great, the praise seems to be over the top. And that could make little Johnny feel some kind of way because he's like, look, man, I've been consistently great. I've been consistently great all this time, and and he have one good report card, and y'all going crazy. Yeah, well, because that's not something we're used to seeing him do or her do. So we want to give them that encouragement to keep being great. We used to you being great. That's not to say we don't appreciate it or love it. It just you have been cursed by your own consistency in your greatness. And I don't like to use the word curse, but you've been victimized with a numb reaction, a plain reaction, because that's what you do. But don't feel some kind of way about it. Just understand that, hey man, hey, I'm so great. I get down so well that it's it's ho hum at this point. But don't be one of those people who got to go around telling everybody, hey man, I did this, I did this, I did that, you know, and it's so over the top to where people are looking at you like, because even when you're doing great work, when you overly mouthy about it, it turns people off. Work on having a humble spirit, work on your humility, and that would attract people as well. That would attract people to the work you've done. You know, and I know the saying because I've used it myself. Where it said, "Well, look, man. Sometimes the only way to hear the music is you got to blow your own horn." Blowing your own horn is sometimes the only way to hear the music, but that's in a context. That's certain situations. It's situational. It's not all the time just bragging and letting everybody know what you do. Let your work speak louder than your voice, man, and you'll be all right. Your time will come. All right, man. It's your big brother K-Rino. Catch y'all later on. Peace.